Let's close this out. All right, as we say. Tyson, if you have any comments that you want to make, I'd like to get from you first, and if you do. And then everybody else, again, respecting the protocol. Tyson,
Yeah, it's I do the way that you started, I mean, all of it, right? But the way that you started with the the glasses of Imam Warith Deen and breaking down Black in August, that was heavy. That was really heavy. I appreciated that. And it I think in many ways really embodies what folks are trying to do with Black August. Like there's a group that contacted me. I've done some work with Montgomery or Monterey County Unified School District, like in their schools with some of my programming. So I have some connections in the community, and one of their community groups reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, can you do a workshop on Black August next week for the community out here?" I was like, "Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's see what's up." And the like the idea of black gold, like the essence of August that you were talking about, and so many other elements that you were putting together through the like that viewpoint of the Imam.
mm-hmm.
So much of that is the essence and the spirit of that. And then like this history that we have, and I think why it's so valuable, whether we're talking about, I mean, because all of it is our history, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the value of gold, like it's part of our inheritance, and being able to see it for what it is so important. I just the way that you put that together through the lens of the Imam, I think was just really, really powerful for me hearing that. And then the concept of no peer for Imam Warith Deen is deep. Because really when you if you're aware of it and we're looking at the theater that we're in now, like who else could have stepped into that moment
Yeah.
and done the same thing
Yeah.
to where we are now? Yeah, it's a very short list, if there's a list at all.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's one name that we know of, right? And he's the one who navigated us through that path. And I like that's also part of that. We need to know our history,
Yeah.
because when other people
And,
talk,
and,
sometimes
and,
their
in, and
voices come
in
out.
context, as you said.
Context, that part is so important. And that's something that like Quran in general, like Quran is not mushaf. It's not the book for the sake of a book, as the pages, the ink on the pages. It's the knowledge, it's the understanding, it's the recitation, it's the activation of that, right? And it can only be applied in the context of the human being, right? Like we learn it. How does it become real? It becomes real in our minds and in our bodies, and how it manifests in us, to the best of our ability. And so the text always has to have a context, and the context where we are right now, and like that history that we were talking about here in the what we now refer to as the United States. If you're looking at the foundations of this place, the context of it, Native and Indigenous people, the imperialist colonialist folks, and then our people have been here, and this thing does not become what it is without us. We are such an important, pivotal part of what this thing is. And to understand a tradition of how does it do different, fighting for the moral, the ethical principles, freedom for all people, and all that. Who have been the people who have been at the forefront of that for hundreds and hundreds of years? Our people. And so you can't understand the context of this place without dealing with us. And then if you're looking at who are people who have been fighting to change this thing for the better, and as you were saying, not just for Black people, for the entirety of this country, for the entirety of this hemisphere, for the entirety of this world, because that's the reality of it, it's been our people. There have been other people too, but we have been center stage. We have played a central role in that, and we've never wavered from that. And the Nation of Islam, our community, is an extension of that, as this tradition has existed and unfolded for hundreds and hundreds of years. So you can't come here and try to teach this faith in this context without dealing with our experience or having people who come from our experience who are fluent in it and stand on it, because you can understand it from, you know, the standpoint of like a documentary or a book or the ideology of it, but you have to live it. And that's Islam. Knowledge is not just an intellectual exercise. It's what you do. It's part of how you perform that. That's how we know what you do, or what you're about. And so being from that tradition or being from that understanding, you have to have people who come from that to do that. That's us. And so that's also a very short list of communities. Our community is at the top of that list. So yeah, I just, it's really powerful hearing all of that. So thank you for that. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm a fall back because I can keep going. But yeah, thank you.
It's tempting for all of us, mashallah, alhamdulillah. But we are at the end of our day today. But we're going to leave the mic open for others who want to make comments before we proceed.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
Yes, so again, excellent presentation. Thank you so much. And I just want to touch bases real quick on two things. Brother Tyson said something that was vital. He said, and you did too, you said you cannot touch this experience without coming through us.
Right.
And it reminded me of a comment I just read the other day that the Imam made in speaking to the non-indigenous population of Muslims coming into this country. He said to them at one point, he said, you cannot come to America from your experience, come here and think that you can come through this America as a Muslim without speaking and learning and understanding from us what we understand.
Right.
And I thought, I was like, wow, that was very, very insightful. So thank you, both you and Tyson, for re-emphasizing that. And the second thing I want to mention briefly is that, there was a time in my life when I spent a considerable amount of time around those, for lack of a better term, of the Salaf community.
Yeah.
Right. And during that time period, they constantly tried to convince me that, reading the works of the Imam, respecting the Imam, respecting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, respecting that whole experience was a bid'ah, et cetera. You know the whole story.
Yeah, yeah.
But what was even more striking was that some of those individuals around me initially who were attaching themselves to the Imam and attaching themselves, to the tafsir of the Imam and attaching themselves to the language. The moment someone came along of a different mindset to the person, every single person, and made an attempt to convince them otherwise, they eventually went with that thinking and then began to disparage, and to just totally act as if they never once touched, the insights of the Imam, never once were influenced by them. And that's what I found ironic, because you let someone of a different mindset convince you to change your mind. And the last thing I want to say, the Imam told us, do not allow someone else, don't take someone else's head and put it on your shoulders, because that's what will happen. And you will become a product of their thinking, of their perspective, of their ideology. So I thought I wanted to share that, because I witnessed that, personally right in front of my own eyes, So thank you.
Thank you. And I'm telling everybody to go look up the jeweled wasp in YouTube. Just go to YouTube, the jeweled wasp, and what you just described is what happened. And it's the predator and the prey. They were the prey, and the other folks that came in, they were the predator. And because that predator understood more about the nature of their prey than the prey understood about the predator, that's why they took over, and they just became food for the future generations of the jeweled wasp. But just look that up on YouTube. Thank you so much. Others, comments? Speak now, forever hold your peace. We're gonna move on down the road. Bismillah. All right, alhamdulillah. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Make dua for me, I'll make dua for you. And Tyson, Georgetta is the connect down there in Monterey, so who knows? She may be able to.
Alhamdulillah. I had a problem getting off of the mute, but I was going to say when I was listening to the program today, Allah bless me to say because every week I just cringe because so many of my sisters and my Oakland Muslims, they're missing this just incredible session, and I would complain to myself, complain to my husband, but today I had the revelation to turn that around, and for our administrative assistant, pardon my shaky voice, our administrative assistant reach out to you and get information on how we can get in touch with Tyson. We would love to have him come and do a book review for the WMW Women of Master Warith Deen. And then, of course, at the end of the show, he mentioned Monterey. So, all us Montereyans think alike. So, alhamdulillah. And I just want to say, Imam, you just every week constantly reinforce in our minds that Imam Muhammad has no peer. Right. Whoever you want, bring whatever scholar you want, from old or new, whatever.
Right.
He's just, like you said today, peerless. And so you just drive that home every week, and I so much appreciate it. Thank you. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. So I'm gonna give you Tyson's contact information, and you can be in touch with him.
Okay. Inshallah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful day. We out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.